Hello everybody, we are back with another standard chess video. I'm excited, let's get into it. So we're playing on chess.com today, 15-10 game, and we are paired against Blobby 12. Okay, Blobby plays e4, and let's play c6, the Caro-Kann. I enabled arrows, so it should work now, thanks to Zach Hemsio in the comments for that suggestion. Yeah, so I should be able to make arrows now. Okay, we play g6 against this Panov variation. Yeah, it's sort of like a Grunfeld, but a bit different in that white doesn't have their e-pawn and we don't have our c-pawn. So white takes this. I think I can take back. So usually white plays this queen b3 move first. So if they don't, I'm wondering if I can just take on d5. Is queen a4 a problem? I'll just go knight c6. So knight takes d5, bishop c4, I can go knight b6. Okay, I've done this before. I think I can just take on d5 with the knight. Okay, knight f3, let's go bishop g7, try to castle. Bishop c4, okay, if I go knight b6, is he threatening anything? I don't believe so. Knight b6, bishop to f7, king takes f7, knight g5, king comes back, and I'm pretty sure we're defending that position, so let's go knight to b6. Now my opponent can play bishop to b3, which he does, and I'll simply castle. Now after my opponent castles, I'm thinking, should I go bishop to g4, creating this pin against the knight? Or do I just go knight to c6? This is another good option. So knight c6, the only drawback to this move, it is putting pressure on the weak d4 pawn, but we are allowing this d5 push, which I'm not 100% sure about. Okay, so castles, knight c6, d5, knight a5. Let's say the bishop goes back to c2. Oh no, looks like we're having a connection issue. Let's get that settled real quick. Okay, I hope my hotspot works. Let's try reloading. Looks like we have Wi-Fi. Alright, let's connect to the hotspot. Let's hope this works. Let's hope we don't get forfeited against Blobby 12. Okay, and what's the verdict? Did we get forfeited or? No, it looks like we're still playing. Okay, good. Alright, so castle's kingside. Now I was deciding between knight to c6 and bishop to g4. So knight c6, d5. Now we go to a5. Bishop to c2. Okay. That position doesn't look so bad. Let's say bishop g4, h3, takes, knight to c6, d5, we go knight d4. That position also looks pretty good. I'm not too unhappy with either of those positions. Let's say knight c6. This looks pretty in the spirit of the position, I'd say. Now pawn to d5, we play knight a5. I don't think knight b4 is as effective, even though we're putting a lot of pressure on the pawn. Because a3, I don't want to give up this bishop with some sort of bishop takes c3. So let's just play it simply, try to apply pressure on this knight, pin it to the queen, and then apply pressure on the d4 pawn. So I am expecting d5 here. I've had a couple of games like this. Yeah, I've had a couple of games like this. on chess.com, which my opponents go for this d5 idea, but their light square bishop becomes a bit shaky. So bishop to e3 is the try instead, and now I think bishop to g4 is correct. It feels like it has to be. So bishop g4, h3, takes, and do we go knight takes d4 here? Takes, lots of arrows, I know. Queen takes. Okay, for some reason I'm not entirely convinced on this one. But okay, let's go. So bishop g4. d5 doesn't work. Yeah, I'm just slightly worried about this h3 move by white. And I don't think I have enough there. I've had like a similar position before. You get this opposite colored bishop's position. It's okay, but not fantastic. I think I'll go knight a5 instead, with the idea of trying to snag the bishop pair and also trying to come into c4. So we have sort of a dual purpose for this move. One drawback is we're no longer putting as much pressure on this d4 pawn, which is not great. But okay. We still have knight c4, active play. Bishop c2 is the move I guess I would expect, but I don't know, maybe knight e5 as well, just coming into the position. Though knight e5 I think I can take. So bishop c2 is played. Now I can go for this knight to c4 idea, just jumping in, trying to win the bishop pair again. This was the point of knight a5, to get more piece activity for my knight. And now I'm also hitting b2, so I wouldn't be too surprised to see bishop to c1. Doesn't look so bad. Okay, so he goes b3, and this move I don't really like. So he's allowing me to take this, which I'll take him up on. And now these are somewhat weak, so if I can take advantage of that somehow, I want to. So what would be the best way to take advantage of these weak pawns? I know that bishop to h6 is one way to do so, just hitting this e3 pawn. Okay, knight d5 is also an idea in the position, trading this c3 knight for my d5 knight, and also hitting e3 simultaneously. That looks pretty appealing, knight d5, because my knight on b6 is probably not as good as this knight on c3. Queen c7 is an effort to put pressure, but just queen d2 seems to be a simple fix. Okay, so maybe we should try this knight d5 idea, just offer a trade, and just say, okay, we have the bishop pair, the position can't be so bad for us. So let's make this trade, and if he takes, now my idea might be to play b6. Okay, e4, taking a lot of space in the center. So the idea might be e5, just trying to clamp down. That's interesting for sure. Looks like we're losing connection again somehow. Okay, but we're back. So queen d8, e5, bishop to e6. Now my bishop's coming to d5. Yeah, so knight g5, bishop d5. Tricky position. Maybe I go queen h5, although that's a bit unnatural. Queen a5 or queen h5 are both possible ideas. But for some reason this e5 move is annoying me. Maybe I go queen d8, e5, bishop g4. h3 takes. But that's just opposite colored bishops. I'm not sure if I want this opposite colored bishop's position. Okay, let's go for queen d8 because we're retaining the option to reroute to b6. And yeah, I'm not thrilled about the prospect of opposite colored bishops in this position, but sometimes you just have to bite the bullet and say, I sort of have to go for this. Okay, h3, so he's stopping bishop to g4. So he thinks, he wants to play for some sort of advantage, so that's fair. That is very fair. He wants to get in this e5 without having to pay the consequences. So do I go b6? h6 is also consideration, just stopping knight g5 altogether. So h6, e5, I can now play bishop to e6 with the idea of coming to d5. That doesn't look so horrible. b6 also not so shabby. e5, bishop e6. Okay. I get a feeling that b6 is the right square for the queen because we're putting pressure on the king. Maybe king h1 will be played. That's possible. But this just feels like the correct square. I don't think e5 is all that correct here because I get bishop e6 and rook to d8. But we'll see what white has in mind. What else? So king h1, what do I want to do there? Do I want to just play bishop d7? Yeah, maybe I just want to play bishop d7, e5, bishop b5, something like this. That doesn't look so bad. Let's just get our pieces out, not spend too much time. We don't want to burn too much clock here. So yeah, bishop d7, bishop b5 is a natural approach. Should I go rook d8 first is the question. Okay, let's play rook d8, and now we're being a little bit more sneaky about bishop b5, I guess. Alright, so bishop b5, we're getting onto a good diagonal. Is there anything better? This looks pretty good to me. Let's say rook e1. Now do we want to try and double with rook d7? That looks like it could be good. What else? Yeah, rook d7 doubling looks like a pretty solid strategy. e5 might be possible, but we might just be able to follow through with our doubling, or even play e6. So rook d7 might be the next thing on our agenda here. But I'm expecting rook e1. Let's say they go bishop d3. Do we have any good counter to this? Can we go bishop takes d4? Oops, bishop takes d4? I don't think so. I don't think we're getting away with this. Bishop takes b5. Yeah, it's not working out for us because of knight takes d4 at the end. So bishop d3. What do we want to do on this? Do we want to go queen a6? Or just keep going with our plan, rook d7? Yeah, rook d7 doesn't look bad to me. I'll just confirm this again. Bishop takes d4. Bishop takes b5. Let's say the bishop moves away somewhere. Queen e2. Yeah, okay, that's not going to work out. So rook d7, bishop takes, queen takes. Is there d5? But we always have e6. I don't mind that so much. I'll just go rook d7. I think this is the right way to play. Put both of the rooks on this file. And once I get this rook to d8, it'll be important for me to play maybe e6 to keep this f-pawn defended against any potential attacks. So I will go rook d7 and rook d8. But black is probably equalized. I think we might We might be equal here, maybe even slightly better, but it depends on how white treats the position with these center pawns. If white treats it correctly, he could be slightly better, but if he treats it incorrectly, then he could be slightly worse. And what's interesting is actually it's not too common to see these sorts of hanging pawns on the E and D files, where both the F and C pawns are gone. This is not too common a position. So D5 is played. He wants to treat the position like this, and I understand where he's coming from, but I wonder if he's giving my dark square bishop too much power. So he's letting my dark square bishop get strong. I can play e6. So e6, are there any significant drawbacks to this? Okay, bishop takes b5, queen takes b5. d6, can he play d6? I don't believe it. Rook d8. Yeah, I'm not buying this d6 stuff. But I think e6 is the most principled way to challenge the center. So I'm just going to play e6 and ask him to show me what he's got. But e6 has to be the most principled move. Now, I guess I'm taking a bit of a risk in that if he's able to create a passed d-pawn, he could be better. But I'm just hoping that that's not going to be the case. So takes. Does he want knight d4? If knight d4, I think I can take it though, or just come back queen b6. So what does he want? So d6, rook f to d8, queen f4, e5. And that looks strong. Maybe queen g5, f6 though. So it looks like that's working. So what's his idea? Is his idea just wait, maybe knight g5? Knight g5 though, h6, pushing him back. So knight g5 is a move that I'm sort of worried about in these positions because it puts pressure on these two tender pawns. But I just get the feeling that it's not possible in the near future or in the immediate future because there's always h6. So let's see what he wants to do. He goes queen f2. This is a pretty good plan, so he's trying to win my a pawn. I think I'll take this though. I'll take on d5, and I might just want to challenge him and play a6 and say just like show me how you're gonna equalize. So okay, he takes. Now I have a choice to play a6 or just take on d5. So let's see what that position looks like. Takes. I think we might be slightly better there, but if we can just win the pawn outright, that'd be much better. So a6 is a try to do that. And okay, knight d4, I just take. So there's no knight d4. a6, knight g5. Can I just take again? I think I can. So a6, queen. Okay, let's just put a6 on the board. It's clearly our top contender, so might as well just play it. Maybe queen d2 back. Although that'd be a giant waste of time, so I'm not sure if white wants to go for that. If queen d2, I think we might be playing rook d8. Knight d4, we take on d5 again. So yeah, I'm not sure. I think white has to try and create something over here on the king side, or maybe he has some way to protect this pawn that I'm just not seeing. If knight g5, rook takes d5, knight takes f7. We play rook d1, rook takes f7, rook d8 check, and bishop f8 defending. So we're fine there. Does he have anything else in the cards? Maybe he'll try a4, but that's just giving up another pawn, and the counterplay he's getting doesn't seem to be enough. So let's see. So d6 is played. And this is actually interesting because now he is threatening knight to g5. So if I go rook to d8, he is threatening this. Oh wait, no, because my queen defends now. Oh. So that's important. So I guess rook d8 he wants knight d4. Is this what he wants? Knight d4, can't I just go queen b6 though and add more pressure? Okay, so rook d8 feels correct. If knight d4, I'm just going queen b6, adding more pressure to this pin. Other than knight d4, what does he have? He has to move his knight out of the way so that queen takes f7 is a threat. Because right now I just want to take on d6, and if he wants to stop that, he needs to be threatening queen takes f7 to discourage it. Okay, knight d4, queen b6. What does white play? I'm threatening queen takes d6 next. Knight d4, queen b6, threatening queen d6. And yeah, white really has to prove how he's going to hold this position. I think he has some good counter chances, but he has to prove something. Maybe he forgot that the knight's just hanging there. Okay, so can I go rook d6? Rook d6, queen f1. Looks possible to me. Okay, let's just play it. I don't see anything better. Okay, I don't think we're missing any tactics here. We're threatening the rook on f1, which white has to watch out for. So if rook takes d6, I'm thinking, rook takes d6. I'm thinking I take on f1 first. That seems the most logical. So I'll take on f1 with check. I'm expecting king to h2, which is played. And now I'm thinking rook e8. And I'm guessing that this move is powerful because I keep threats of bishop e5 in the position. So let me first consider taking. So takes, and let's say I go back queen b5, queen to b8 check, bishop f8. Oh, oops. That also looks pretty good. Knight e5 maybe. King g7. Okay, it gets messy as you can tell. So what's better between rook takes d6 and rook e8? If rook e8, does he have this move right here? Not sure. Okay, rook e8, rook b6. Now, okay, rook e8, rook b6. Let's say I play queen c1. Rook takes b7, I have bishop h6. I'm tempted to play this. I'm gonna do it. Just because I want to go for some ideas like queen c1, bishop h6, bishop f4. So rook d7 is the choice of my opponent. And now I was thinking I could play queen to b5 here. Am I still planning to go for this? It seems solid. Yeah, so queen b5. and I guess we're just asking how he's getting out of that. So we do have to be slightly careful, I guess. Do we have Queen C1? Queen C7 maybe? Yeah, Queen C7 seems to solve his problems. Queen C1, Queen C7 is sort of forcing the queen trade. Okay, Queen B5. Does he have the same Queen C7? Rook. Okay, Queen B5, Queen C7, Bishop H6. Even I don't really believe it. Maybe Bishop F8. So right here, here, here. Queen. Sorry, Bishop D6. Queen takes, King takes. Lots of arrows. Am I defending that? Also, he's not forced to play Rook takes F7, so that's another consideration. So here. Yeah, I somewhat like the idea of sort of forcing him to find this. I think if he doesn't, he might be getting himself into some trouble. Just because I'm threatening bishop to h6 with bishop f4. So I think he has to play this move, and I'm sort of searching still if there's anything I can do just to punish it, but I'm not sure that that's the case. Okay, let's just, I guess, wait a little bit and see if our opponent is going to find Queen c7. If Queen c7, maybe I take, takes and b5 with the idea of Rook c6, Rook e6, and I'm basically taking this bishop versus knight ending a pawn up. I'm not confident that that's a win by any means, but it might be the best try. I also have Queen c7, Queen takes, Rook e2, Rook takes b7, Rook takes a2, and yeah, that might even be like a little worse, like a worse try at a win. Okay, he goes Rook c7. I hadn't seen this move, but it has its points. Maybe I go Queen e3 now, and I'm sort of playing for the same idea. Yeah, Queen e3 seems like the most logical move, just because I'm keeping this threat. Oops, bishops don't move like that. So now is he defending this after Rook b7, bishop h6, king h1? Bishop f4, Queen g4, I have Queen e1, Queen h4, Queen c1, Knight g1, Rook e1, Rook b8, King g7. Okay, he takes, and I guess he's challenging me to try and find the win. Can I do this? Bishop h6 with the simple idea of bishop f4. I don't see anything much stronger than this, so I'm going to go for it. I want to play bishop f4. Oh, he has this. So this was his idea. Yeah, not smart by me to have missed this, obviously, but good find, good resource by my opponent. Rook e4, queen b8, king g7, takes. Not convincing in the slightest. We can go for it though. Rook e4 just feels like the way to keep putting pressure. Okay, queen b8, king g7, takes. Queen e5 doesn't work because I take, knight takes, and bishop f4 in the end. So I have a feeling he's going to go queen b8 or take. Either way, I get the feeling that queen b8 is going to be inserted. So let's just see. Queen b8, king g7. What else does he have? Okay, he takes, I'll take back. Maybe he wants to do this. I think he sees this idea, though, that it's not possible to go for a queen e5 check at the end. Can he go like king h1? Okay, he goes there. That's reasonable. In response, maybe I'll go bishop e3. Just trying to complicate the position a little bit. Yeah, let's try to complicate it a little bit. I don't want a queen trade because I think he does have some weaknesses around his king. But it's getting harder and harder to prove that as time goes on. So queen f4. Now the idea, I guess, is to swing around somehow and start threatening mates. I should also try to get my king out, but this will be tough to win. Let's say queen e2. What is my threat? Do I just go h5? Maybe I can try this h5 stuff. Try to put a pawn on h4, but as soon as I put a pawn on h4, he goes knight takes h4. So I'm not sure. Maybe we should defend this real quick. Just take a second to defend the pawn. a5. Yeah, my opponent's playing well. Playing some good moves. Let's do this a5 move. And now we're not even a pawn up, so going into an endgame isn't necessarily favorable like it was before. So we can't really go for this ending. It's sort of a well-known chess principle that a queen and knight work better together than a queen and bishop. But I'm hoping that my queen and bishop, given the weakness of these dark squares, will work together quite well. I sort of want to go like queen e4, queen b1 there, or here, but it's also not convincing because of queen e1. So let's let our opponent prove his advantage. Or not advantage, but prove his position. Maybe I want to go bishop b6, bishop c7. The problem I'm running into in these lines, though, is there's this check, which is annoying, and then queen e5 forces the queen trade. So maybe, okay, queen b5 played. He's going after this. Okay, so should I just let him have it? Go here. But he somehow defends. This is a very powerful move. How can I play against it? Can I go bishop d2? Check. King g7. Queen e5. Takes. Yeah, I'm hoping this bishop d2 isn't losing. I'm not sure how else to go about protecting this though, because queen b4 falls to this check, picking up my bishop, so I can't leave the defense of my bishop. Yeah, and queen e4, queen takes a5, queen b1, he just goes here. Okay, what about queen e4, queen takes a5, and bishop f2? Can I do that? Bishop f2. Okay, screw it, let's go for it. We just need to stop that queen e1 move. So, alright, queen takes a5, let's go bishop to f2. And then I don't know. What am I threatening? I guess I'm just keeping it sharp. h5. Okay, he gives this check, I'll move up. And he wants to trade queens. Nothing I can do to stop it, so we'll accept. Maybe I have to make something happen with f5. Knight c4. Oh wait, no, knight c4 threatens to win the pawn. So I need to stop that somehow. Is bishop f4 a way to do that? Knight c4, bishop c7. Okay, let's go here. Our idea is to come back to c7 and try to use the king. We're sort of in a better spot to activate our king, but not by much. So we'll go here. We got to watch out for forks, but we're not getting forked at the moment. And yeah, this is an interesting ending. Let's go here. Now I sort of want to try and wiggle around king c5, king b4, but king d3 just sort of puts a stop to that. Yeah. King d3 cuts out a lot of counterplay. Maybe I'll go f5 in that position, just to try and start pushing my pawns. King d3, f5, knight e3, king goes to c5. Okay, let's play f5 and just bring our king over to c5. We've amassed slightly more time on the clock, so we're under a little less time pressure, which is a good thing, I guess, but we still have to figure out how to go for a win here. It's probably just a draw, but we also have to be a little bit careful not to lose. If king c3, can I go for more? That might be too sharp for my own good. Yeah, my king doesn't really have an entryway, is the problem. I don't really know how to enter. King e4, a3, f4, b4, takes, and I go f3, takes, and I should be able to sack my bishop for this pawn. So maybe this is something I should go for. As long as he's not able to win my a pawn outright, that's the only concern. Yeah, so maybe we do this. So knight d2 is played, and I guess the idea is to come this way. So if I go king here, king c3, I can give this check though, and come in like this. So yeah, maybe I'll try to do that. King c3, I give a check. Knight f3, I go king b4. But this doesn't lead anywhere, really. Okay. He wants to come here. I have to say I'm not in love with the position. Maybe I have to go bishop f4 in an attempt to defend. That's not a move you want to play though. Okay, let's go bishop f4. Knight d4 threatens to fork us on e6. So gotta watch out for that. Okay, but I have bishop d4 here, I guess. I shouldn't fall for the fork. Let's go bishop d4, or sorry, e5. And we're somewhat defending. Maybe this. Yeah, is knight e6 a problem? Does he have knight f8? Ah, is this his idea? And now he is forcing this this trade, or what? Can I go here? I don't want to play h5, it just seems like the incorrect move, but I also don't want to give up this pawn, so I'll just do it. And this king and pawn ending might be lost, which is unfortunate. Okay, knight f7, king e6, takes. King c4, g5, king b5, g4, takes. Okay, in that ending we're okay. But let's say here, a3, g5, b4. That might not be as pleasant. We'll try though, we're both getting sort of low on time. Yeah, he goes for it. Probably this. I'd be shocked if he started going this way. He might go h4 too. That's a try. h4, what do I do? g5? That's not good. Is h4 just the clincher? Okay, he goes for this instead. This pawn promotes with check. Okay. Let's play like this, we sort of have to. Not much of a choice. If he takes, I think we take back with h. So takes, g3, h4, takes, g3. So he goes h4. I'll go f4. Okay, so now my idea is I chase this pawn, and whenever he goes king to e4, I go f3, takes, and g3. So has he messed this up? Because whenever he goes king e4, I'm going f3. So okay, king c6, and I'm chasing the pawn. f3, g3. It's looking like he's fast enough. So here, okay. I guess here, but yeah, this is not a good look for us. With the extra pawn, he's just winning. Wait, actually? I'm not sure anymore. So f6, I go here. Okay, f6, I go here. Okay, he's found a way. Alright, and good game to Blobby 12. That was a tough one. Very very sharp game, but instructive too. Let me just go back and see. Yeah, it turns out that that position was just losing. Yeah, this is the moment at which I was saying white should have gone for h4 just to stop me from playing g5. But, alright, he found a way anyways. Now after f3, let's say takes, takes, takes. Was I in time to draw this? Yeah, I actually was. So I should have just taken on f3. Yeah, this would have just been a draw. If I'd gone like this. Alright, well, that was sort of a tough one, but that's alright. We win some, we lose some. We'll get them next time. It was an instructive game. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, please like, comment, and subscribe. Every subscription helps me a lot.